We'll do it live!
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Metacast podcast. That's the podcast that improves itself, improves ourselves, and improves the self in general. My name is Ty, I'm going to be your host, and I'm joined by, as always, my alluring co-host, Distance, who is, oh, there he is. I was like, what? I thought you were actually like reaching over to grab something. I don't know why I fall for like your intro every time.
I don't know. I'm trying to do something weird every time now. It's like I'm making it like my thing.
I like it because I appreciate it because I recognize that I don't do enough. So I really appreciate that. I need to do more with like movement and keeping something visually interesting. Other than, I mean, I got a good background, I guess. That's visually interesting. Oh shit. And I punch my mic all the fucking time. I'm really mad at that.
That's pretty interesting too.
True. So anyways, tonight we are, we're going to talk about the, concept of attraction, I guess. The topic of attraction.
The thing of attraction.
Yeah, it's a weird thing, man. So the first thing, where do you draw the line for what attraction is versus what infatuation is versus just what being interested in someone? Like what is attraction to you?
I would say attraction encompasses the whole thing. Like
okay.
All that stuff is attraction.
So attraction then does not have to be based on physical or any sort of looks or appearance.
Yeah, I mean, I think that in this case, we're mostly talking about romantic attraction. But I mean, You're going to be attracted to your friends for some reason, like...
yeah, that was one thing I wanted to touch on is like the different types of attraction. Like we would use... like when you talk about being attracted to someone, more often than not, if I just said to you, hey, I'm attracted to so-and-so, you would assume that is a romantic attraction.
I would think so, yeah. That would be the first assumption that I would make, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just I think the normal context of how someone would say that's a perfectly normal assumption to make. But the feeling we get, like you were just talking about, when you make a new friend, when you realize there's this person that, hey, we get along. I like spending time with this person. I would like to see them again. That, like, I mean, by definition, that is also attraction, but it's not a sexual or romantic attraction. It is just your personalities, fit well. And it's like, hey, I enjoy spending time with this person. I would like to do that more. Do you think that it's fair to use that word for both, or that it's more precise for one and less precise for the other, or?
I mean, that's one of the major problems with the English language is that you always run into like weird, like semantic conundrums.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I think it's fair to, when I say that you can be attracted to your friends, I'm kind of saying it as like an uncommon abstract, I guess, that people don't usually think of. So, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily use that word to describe just wanting to hang out with somebody necessarily. But I think that there is some sort of attraction in some way there.
Exactly. Yeah. I think you're right. Just like I pointed out, if I were to say I'm attracted to this person, there's a context with it. So it wouldn't make sense to use that term, but in reality, that is what it is. And it's like recently when I told you about the that YouTube series that I was watching, and I was like really I don't know the right word to use for my interest or attraction to this host, but it was like it was not a romantic or sexual attraction. It was just like, wow, this person is very good on camera and is really charismatic and is funny. But it's like it's so hard to characterize that feeling for someone, because so often attraction or any kind of interest like that is thought of and automatically assumed to be like romantic or sexual in nature.
Yeah. And most of the time when I have a feeling that I identify myself as attraction, I usually consider it to be like physical or like romantic or something like that.
Well, and then there's also on the other side, I would say the ability to recognize that someone is romantically attractive or physically attractive, but not be attracted to them. Right? Like that's possible,
nah,
right?
Man. Nah, man. I'm just no, sorry.
You wouldn't say like you can't recognize that like Ryan Gosling is attractive, but I'm not attracted to him.
Oh, it's like, but it's, so okay. It's because I'm straight. Like otherwise, like it's not really. I mean, I guess.
Yeah, it's just like knowing that they you can recognize they are physically attractive, but it's not your type.
I think I just discovered something about myself. I think I might have a huge crush on Ryan Gosling.
I'm surprised you didn't already know. I think we all do. If you don't have a huge crush on Ryan Gosling, there's probably something wrong with you, and you should seek medical attention.
Yeah, that's probably true. But I guess it's like for me, it's just the fact that like I don't want to put my hands all over like fellas, generally speaking. So I think that's really the only reason why I don't think he's attractive. It's like he's obviously attractive to people that like men.
Well, exactly. That's what I'm saying is like you could take a lineup of guys and you could deduce physically which one the majority of the population would think is more attractive.
But I'm not.
But it's just recognizing what characteristics are attractive, not actually being attracted to them.
But I wouldn't say that Ryan Gosling is attractive. I would say he's a good-looking guy or he's charming. But for me, I wouldn't use the word attractive because I'm not attracted to him. I just think that it's like he has qualities that are cool, but subjectively, I don't find myself attracted to him. So I wouldn't say that. Maybe like Ryan Gosling has potential to be attractive to a certain person.
Yes.
Based on these qualities.
See, that's I think that's maybe where my mind reads the word attractive as just a characteristic of something or someone, not necessarily meaning that if that person is attractive, I am attracted to them. Just like I was saying, like the example I was giving, it's like Ryan Gosling is attractive. That means he attracts people that are, you know, you get what I'm saying.
But the feeling you have is not. We should just rename the title of this to Ryan Gosling.
That's fair. I think we should just rename the entire podcast. Can we do a Ryan Gosling podcast? Just every week, just
Gosling.
Yeah, it's just what he's up to, what he's doing. We'll just I'm down with that. Starting next week, we're gonna be all Ryan Gosling all the time.
Yeah, what Ryan Gosling looks like with his shirt off, what shoes Ryan Gosling just purchased, who Ryan Gosling is dating. We could do this for years. So, but yeah, like you recognize that the person is attractive, but the feeling that you feel for them is not attraction.
Exactly. Yes. So so attraction then is not. I mean, of course, it's not like universal. It is very personal. It is very subjective. What one person finds attractive, another person may not. But like we were just pointing out, there is kind of a like an average, right? I think this is one thing that's very interesting about it is you will run into people like right now. If I just said picture the generic attractive man or picture the generic attractive woman, I'm pretty sure there's a vast majority of people that would be picturing similar body structures or facial structures, or you know what I mean? Like there's kind of an idea that we have of just like, oh, that's an attractive woman, that's an attractive man. But then there are also people of part of the population that are attracted to outliers and not like in a weird way, just like they actually are attracted to people that would be the unconventional body type or unconventional facial, anything like that.
Yeah. There is some theory about the average looking people. Is it someone that looks average? It's supposed to be a marker or an indication psychologically that person doesn't have any weird like genetic abnormalities.
That makes sense.
They just look so normal. But see, this is the thing that I thought about a lot. Actually, you know what? I can even tell you now. I was at Sheetz. And for anyone that doesn't live in the U.S. or in our area, Sheetz is like a large convenience store / gas station / filling station / petrol station for our British
in the Northeast it's like Wawa. They're similar.
Like or what's it, like a Buc-ee's in Texas. It's not as big as Buc-ee's, but it was pretty cool. But I was there standing in line and I was like about to purchase some brewskis, and a woman walked in and I was like, ah!
You actually audibly made that noise?
No,
Oh.
God, I'm so glad I didn't. But like she walked in and I was like, oh my goodness, like oh goodness.
That needs to be one of the things you
Attraction
challenge me to. We go to a bar and a woman has to walk by and I have to go, oh.
The out of your comfort zone challenge for
Exactly.
this week.
Yep.
But she was very attractive. Like I was like I try so hard not to be like intrusive. Like, okay, don't fucking stare, dude. Don't stare, you fucking sleaze. Don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, it's so weird because that attraction was purely like physical and it was visual. And honest to God, I don't know why.
And you hadn't
I couldn't tell you why.
Exactly. You've never spoken to this person or gotten to know them yet. So it's only literally only physical attraction, right?
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, like I could tell you things that I thought were probable about the, like waist to hip ratio probably was something. Eye color, cheekbones, jawline, things like that. Like non-specific things that I couldn't name, but are probably things that I found attractive. But I don't really know why exactly. But it's like in those situations, I don't want to be like one of those jackasses who just sits there and stares at somebody because they're pretty.
Yeah.
So like she walked in, I was like, goodness me. And then I was like, keep looking this way, bitch. Do not engage. Do not be weird. Do not force any discomfort. Be respectful. Like, and that's difficult though, because everybody likes to look at something that they find pleasing.
Exactly. Yep.
And it's like, I think we've had the conversation before. Oh, I think my cat's destroying something. Hold on.
No worries.
That's a guitar, stupid. Sorry.
He may just be trying to learn, man.
We do it live. The guitars have been there for a while, okay? I don't know why suddenly he wants to kill one of them.
He should have picked it up by now. Good point.
They've been there for a long time. He's lived here for quite a while now. He should be used to the guitars. But yeah, it was just weird because after I thought that, I was like, oh, fuck, that's funny. We're doing an episode on attraction tonight.
That's perfect, yeah.
I was like, I should mention this.
Oh, that was actually today? That is actually, that's perfect.
Yeah,
nice.
like on the way home, like after, like on the way back from the gun range, I stopped and picked up some brewskis. So notice after the gun range, not before.
It's a good call, yeah.
It's an important thing. And I just was like, and I couldn't tell you specifically, and there's not some analytical thing that goes off in my brain. It's like, see person, boom, feel attracted. What does that even feel like exactly? I can't even describe it. I just know that I am.
That is an interesting thing. Is it's impossible to like pinpoint the feeling, and it's also impossible to pinpoint the reason. It's just like I don't know if I've ever considered that until. I apologize for the inconvenience. We had some technical difficulties during this episode, and my internet connection completely died during this point of the recording. I was able to reset my router, and we pick back up right here.
Oh, do you have my video up?
Yes. Oh shit!
So Yingling
it just like
came out with.
I think we're actually live again. Are we?
Wait, what?
I think it just automatically reconnected. The live, I don't know. The live counter is still ticking on one app. I'm not 100% sure.
I just waved a fucking branded image in front of the camera.
Oh, that's fine. That's not that's not at all an issue.
We are not sponsored by Yingling, but we should be. Okay, should we just like start talking? What the fuck were we just talking about?
I have attraction.
Yeah, but like,
we were talking about this had never occurred to me before, how difficult it is to pinpoint what you are attracted to. Like literally, I'd never really thought about that, because there are certain things that I know are attractive. I know like I like a certain type of hair, and I know I like eyes a certain way and things like that. So there are certain specifics that I could point to, but a lot of times when I think of someone that I've just seen that was strikingly like, oh wow, that person is very attractive, there's not one thing I can point to. It is just a feeling that is just like a kind of a mystery.
Well, the woman that I'm talking about at the filling station, I couldn't really tell you about her because I didn't see her for particularly long. But if I spend like 5 minutes at least with someone, I can tell you almost everything I'm attracted to about them. Almost.
See, I'm thinking more the physical side of like there's like certain people that I could think of that like have a look that is just distinct, that it's like I'm very attracted to, but I couldn't like specifically know like, oh, it's because their eyes look a certain way or because their nose looks like this. It's just like it's an overall look that I know I'm attracted to, but it's like, yeah, I don't know if I could point to specifics, but I think maybe I just need to get better at taking inventory of the things I'm attracted to and be more conscious of that, or
perhaps. I mean, the other thing for me is that I think that I pay an almost excessive amount of attention to things involving people, maybe more than most people do. So it might just be some weird thing. I'm actually going to ask some friends at work tomorrow what they think. Ask them like what it is that they're attracted to and why. Dude, could we have like 3 guests on to talk about this?
We can only have 2. The whereby is only four people big.
Oh yeah. Okay. I could actually maybe I could have one of them over. That would work.
Unless we wanted to try to do like, Skype or Discord or something, we could try to see if we could make that work.
Yeah.
But
it would be fun to have like 3 other people on, because there's 3 specific friends at work who we're grabbing drinks tomorrow that I'm gonna ask about this if they can pinpoint exactly. But it's like even like my girlfriend, like she and I can tell you personality traits and qualities about her that I find attractive. But as far as the physical attractiveness goes, it's weird because there's some moments where I'm like, zowie, and I can't really tell you why. And other moments where I'm like, let's just watch a shitty movie from the 80s. I don't want to be doing the sexy time stuff. But and then like every now and then I'm just kind of like, like there's moments where I'm like, hey, and I don't really know why that happens, but I think that, usually if someone's in a long-term relationship, they can usually name a lot of things about someone that are attractive. Well, for me, they spent that much time with them.
Yeah. Like if we're talking about like personality traits and things like that I can pinpoint. When I'm talking about like just a physical look, that's where it becomes more like, I can't describe it other than I think that person's attractive. It's like trying to like actually pinpoint like, oh, I like a smaller nose, or I like the eye. It's like that's where it's like it gets lost in details other than it just being like an overall thing. But yeah, personality I think is easy to pick up things.
It's like you're cute because your eyes are exactly this many centimeters apart.
Yep.
Well, millimeters. I mean, if it were centimeters, that would be something.
Your eyes are 17 centimeters apart, and that's perfect.
You're also 12 feet tall. But yeah, it's funny because you hear people talk about perfumes and that they have pheromones in them when we talk about like human pheromones. This is the only thing I did any real research on.
Yeah.
That it's interesting because there's initially, I think it was the silkworm moth.
Okay.
Where the first pheromone was. Okay, so the idea, a pheromone is a chemical that alters the behavior of another organism of the same species.
Okay.
So it's like a hormone, except it affects another organism that's the same species as you.
A chemical created by that species. It can't just be an external chemical. It has to. Okay, gotcha.
Yes, yeah. So it's like that, yeah. So the female silkworm moth had a chemical called bombykol, I think is how you say it.
Okay.
BOMBYKOL.
Okay.
And it would attract the male to the female, and like it could do this over long distances, even at a low concentration. That a male would be like, "Oh, I detect the bombykol. Like, I'm gonna go find that lady and make her some baby moths." And then that's like how it happens. So there's a thought that humans have a vomeronasal organ. VNO.
Yeah.
That is supposed to be something that detects pheromones.
Okay.
But the thing about us is that our neurology, like our brain, is much more complex than a moth.
Exactly. A little bit.
So we cannot, if we decide or detect that a pheromone is a thing, we can't really pinpoint how it affects a human that directly, because our neurology is so like complicated.
That makes sense. Yeah, it's not something that you can easily see the effect of, like with what I would assume is a pretty simple system in an insect. Yeah.
and there's even like weird weird I don't know if it's conclusive, but it's that there's some belief that the smell of tears, I think particularly females' tears, which doesn't smell like anything,
Yeah.
can actually decrease the libido and the testosterone of most males.
That's probably a good thing. But
But it's weird because people will be like, "Ooh, they smell good. Must be pheromones." No, not if you can like decisively smell a thing.
yeah,
That's probably not a pheromone.
exactly. Yeah. That
And even then, like it's not even necessarily like okay, like oh man, there's like I feel like this is gonna get fucking weird. Like I feel like I have to say weird shit at this point.
But so they are definitely a confirmed reality in nature. It's just not understood how it affects human mental. Like,
and for a long time, it was thought that maybe mammals didn't really experience any kind of effect of these chemicals.
Okay.
But it's my cat just is. He wants to kill something. He wants to kill everything. Like I'd pet him, but I think he's gonna bite me again.
Do we?
Oh, god damn it!
Are all mammals like neural structures too complicated to see any effects, or like have we experienced that even in like lab mice or anything smaller? Or
I mean, I didn't dig particularly deep, but I think that there was I don't know if it was gerbils or hamsters maybe that I think that it was a small mammal like a rodent or something similar to a rodent in which so apparently there is a pheromone in the vaginal secretions of a specific species of gerbil that affects male gerbils in a specific way.
Interesting. Okay. So at least there is some I don't know, like not confirmation, but it seems like we have evidence that it does happen in the mammalian world, at least, I guess.
Yeah, I mean there's some understanding of that happening. It's just that we're a bit more it's not like some like well we are much better than the simple animals. It's more like we're just too complicated. If we ever determine exactly how a pheromone affects a human, it'll take a long time because there's just so much going on up there.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, you know, I'm trying to reverse engineer a bicycle versus reverse engineering a car engine with electronic like fuel injection. You know, it takes longer to understand one than the other.
Yep, that makes sense. So do you think then, I mean, purely speculation, do you think in your opinion that pheromones are something that factors into human attraction, or do you think that we, because of our hyper consciousness, that we're kind of more is that more subconscious and we kind of overthink the pheromone effect?
I mean, I can say like from personal experience, I don't know that chemical messengers have that much of an effect on attraction, because I have found that I will be attracted to women for so many different reasons. Like for some reason, I think Taylor Swift's voice is like not her singing voice, but her speaking voice. I just think it's super attractive, and I don't know why. And I find Miley Cyrus's speaking voice somewhat unattractive, and I don't know why. Well, actually, I know exactly why. The same reason why I find my voice unattractive. Scratchy McScratcherson. It's the sandpaper sound. But there's like times where, you know, like I'll do a specific thing or act a certain way, and my girlfriend will find that attractive somehow, like the specific activity. So I think that it's much more complex than that. Like you may look at the way someone walks and think that is attractive in itself. You know, you might look at someone and be like, oh, they got swagger, like, and ooh, you know, like attraction central, like, I don't know, Smash City, population of 2, like, you know, whatever. But then the other thing is like we talk all the time about attraction and we relate it to reproduction.
Yeah.
But what about same-sex attraction? that has nothing to do with reproduction at all.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, we don't. There has to be more with. There's more to what we experience as love and intimacy and infatuation and lust and all that. There's more to that than just procreation, right? Like, I mean, like that's obviously the biological goal for it, but there is more to it than that. Or like you're pointing out, animals that are gay would not be attracted to each other. There's no need for that. So like there is more to it than just that.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to think of it as anything else. Like, it's hard for me to think of it as anything other than like and sort of animal need to continue to exist. I mean, I can tell you that you have to feel something for someone that you've been through something with, something difficult or like a task or even a project at work, that doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic kind of feeling, like soldiers whose lives depend on each other, or someone who saves another person's life.
Exactly.
Or like, you know, something fucked up like Stockholm syndrome, you know, like what the hell is that? But it's weird because, like when I told you this was an effed up subject, and it was complex as hell earlier. This is kind of what I was talking about, because there's so many degrees of abstraction to it. But I was looking at a couple different sets of data today, different surveys, and they got a room of straight women. I think it was 100 of them.
Okay.
And
where is this room?
I don't know. That's some sample, probably a bunch of university.
No, it was a joke because I'm looking for a room full of 100 straight women. Come on, dude.
Sorry. Yeah, me too. I'm looking for a room of 100 straight women so I can be terrified, stand in the corner, and not say a word to any of them.
Exactly. Yep.
Except for 3, that I make a complete fool of myself to. And then that's that. But they were shown photographs of men with more like slender bodies, like less like strong looking.
Okay.
And men with stronger looking bodies, like not like, you know, big like super buff, like you know, not like, you know, Arnold from back in the day, or like Lou Ferrigno or anybody like jacked or whatever, but just like reasonably like muscular like men that like look like pretty physically fit or strong.
Yeah.
And the 97% of those women found the more muscular men attractive. 97.
The 3 that you didn't talk to.
Yeah, exactly. So, but that's just crazy to me. And the other thing is that men will be attracted, I use the term loosely, to strong looking men too, because that's someone they feel like they can rely on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But they're not going to want to, like, you know, I wonder, like, you know, underneath your clothes, like, but it's going to be like.
But that like we're talking about, there's different types of attraction. Being attracted, like you're using that in that another term or another way. Yeah.
It's like, you know, it's like, I would look at a guy that's jacked and be like, hey, I'll bet you could break that bolt loose on my motorcycle I can't get off. Well, yeah.
Not only that, but I mean, this is more of like attraction is what I would say is like almost a subconscious thing that's happening. And this is more of like a conscious thought. But I know that I find people that are very physically fit more reliable just because I know the dedication and what it takes to get into that sort of shape. And it's like, if someone's willing to do that, I know that they're probably successful in many other parts of their life too. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like it's like a barrier to entry that I know that it's like, okay, this person has put this amount of time into something. And especially with that thing, it's actually like they've put this amount of time into something that is like improving themselves and get, you know, like, is that even like more speaks to their character, I feel like. But yeah, so basically, if you're not a buff dude, I don't respect you. No.
I can tell you that I find it really attractive when women have very powerful looking legs.
Okay.
Like when a lady has very toned, very strong looking legs, like I'm like, I don't know what it is about that, but I find that attractive. That's one of like the strength indicators that I think is, maybe it's because, like, you know, mine are so slender and weak that it's, like abnormally slender and weak.
But dude, this is such a weird topic. I'm still stuck on
weird.
Yeah, I'm like we've talked about it in the past that like a lot of what attraction is and a lot of what lust is like the biological trick to get you to procreate. And it's like, I mean, it's kind of silly, but it is like, it's okay. The universe is driving. Okay, but that's kind of a weird way to say it because it's like it's attributing like an idea to it. But it's like, I mean, that's what life wants to do. Life wants to procreate. It's going to find ways to make itself do that. And that's kind of what attraction is the humanity's, like, not even humanity, all of life, at least will be understood of mammals, right? I'm pretty sure mammals are attracted to each other, I would guess. I mean, that's kind of the like mating rituals that we see in nature are like displays of what I would assume is animalistic attraction or like a way to attract someone. So why does it happen when procreation is not a possibility? Is it just that is interesting. Is it just a fluke thing? Is it just I
mean, I can't, I don't, I don't, it would be difficult to explore that subject without heading down a somewhat slippery slope. But I think that kind of what it is, and a lot of people don't like to admit this, especially in the West, especially when they're straight guys. A lot of people don't like to admit that they have felt a similar attraction to males that they do females. And it's not necessarily always one that gives you the desire to remove their clothing and put your hands in naughty places necessarily. But it is an unidentifiable kind of like, hey, like for instance, Matt Best. He is the,
I don't know that name.
He's he's executive vice president at Black Rifle Coffee.
Oh, okay.
He did a bunch of their ads and stuff.
Yeah, like, I know who you're talking about. Okay.
If you see him get approached in public by straight guys, it's really fucking weird. It's like he's their like celebrity crush. But hey, are you Matt Best?
That's funny. Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's me. It's like, look at my shiny teeth. Like, dude, can I take a picture with you? It's like, yeah, sure. And then take a picture like, oh, dude, thank you so much, man. I can't wait to show my friends. And it's just like, this is weird. This is weird.
Yeah, that does.
It's like,
that does seem strange.
Or like, like hanging out at the gym and like talking to like amateur bodybuilder guys, like looking at pictures like, oh man, look at his glutes though. Look his glutes. I'm like, yeah, guys, look at his glutes.
Have you spent any time on the bodybuilding subreddit?
No,
that's
but
what
I'm sure
like
it's hilarious.
Well, that's what all the comment sections turn into. It's like it's become this joke that they're just all gay, and it's like it's not any like look at his glutes. It's more just like, oh man, that ass is looking so. It's like there's just like comments of like tons of, but it's like it's like turned into a joke about itself because they are actually like bodybuilders like looking at it in another way. But yeah, it's funny.
But I mean, once again, it goes back to that whole like reproduction not necessary, like.
Yeah.
What the fuck is up with this,
Yeah.
And it's like apparently it was not uncommon. Did you ever see, you don't watch Doctor Who, do you?
I have we've talked about that. I've tried. I started the season with the doctor that everyone likes and the girl, and I made it to the episode where there's the last human and it's just like a piece of skin stretch. Like I've seen that season. I've tried.
That's a fun episode.
It was good. I need to give it more of a shot. Like I am the type of person that should like Doctor Who, but
really
anyway,
should. But there was an episode where I think they're in like Scotland.
Okay.
In like the 16th century, and somehow a bunch of Roman soldiers end up there.
Okay.
And some like weird time warp thing happens, and the doctor's companion is named Bill, and Bill, she's a lesbian, and there's these Roman soldiers are sitting around, and Bill, like one of them kind of like comes on to her like, hey, chicka wah wah, what you say, lady? Let me take you back. I'm a legionnaire, or legionary, or whatever they're called. And she's like, sorry, mate, I'm into girls. And he goes, oh, you're like him, and he points at another one of the Roman soldiers. He likes
girls too.
He likes men, is what he says.
Oh.
And she said, well, what about you? He's like, yeah, I'm just a normal person. I
Mhm.
like women and men.
Yeah.
And like that was like, it's a hilarious thing because it's a well-known fact that there was plenty of like dude on dude kind of stuff, like, you know, men getting together, like other soldiers like getting together and things like that, you know, ruling people. Like Socrates apparently had like a manservant, and I'm pretty sure Plato and basically every other Greek philosopher that's well known that you can think of.
Oh yeah.
That it was like a really common thing then, and then it wasn't all that weird.
Well, I think it was. I think it was just the norm. Yeah.
Yeah, but that episode is hilarious because I kind of had a feeling he was gonna say something like that, but it was just hilarious to me that they played the scene that way. But then he also said, "But I think it's cute that you're so limited."
Exactly. Yes,
That's what he said to Bill, which is the funniest part of that scene.
And I've had friends like like basically talk to me about that in the same way, like friends that are bi or poly, and basically are under the impression that if you're a straight male, you're only solely attracted to women because of society's pressures on you. That it's basically like you're not open enough to accept your attraction to males. That it's like that there's a taboo to it, so you're keeping that suppressed. But
yeah, it's like when someone says that they're bi, I don't consider that a unique trait. Typically, when someone says they're bi, I'm like, I mean, everyone kind of is.
Well,
like,
in my mind, there's a difference between like practicing and just being attracted. You know what I mean? Like if someone says they're bi, I think to me that means they've had sexual experiences or relationships with both sexes.
Oh, I feel you.
Versus like if someone's only had boyfriends, like, oh, I'm bi because they think a girl's cute. That's, to me, that doesn't mean you're bi. You know, it's like that's just like you're bi curious, I guess, at that point. Like,
yeah, or you're just like a reasonably normal Western human.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, Lee just mentioned the other Ryan in chat. Lest we forget, Ryan Reynolds. Oh, okay. On the subject of attraction.
Yes.
All right. So, there's three women that I work with. They're middle-aged.
Okay.
One of them is married and has 3 kids. The other one is divorced and has 2 kids, I think. The other one has an estranged husband. Are you familiar with this concept?
No. What is estranged?
So when your husband or your spouse, your partner, whatever, just essentially disappears. There's no explicit let's split up. They just basically bail on you.
Wow. Okay.
And they just, so that's kind of like what happened. So I was talking to them.
When that happens, how do you dissolve the marriage? How long do you have to wait?
There's some kind of, like, you know how there's like common law marriages?
Yeah.
I think there's like common law divorce.
Okay,
too.
gotcha.
Like, I think there's something like that. It depends on the state, though, I think.
Okay.
I think, I don't know for sure. I think there's something like that you can do, like where you sort of dissolve it somehow. I don't know. But I was talking about Ryan Reynolds. We were talking about the movie Deadpool, and like the lady who has the estranged husband and no children was like, I don't know if I would like Deadpool because Ryan Reynolds is just, I just think he's so gross. I was like, really? And I leaned over the cube to one of my other coworkers. Keep in mind, like, I have a pretty casual relationship with all 3 of these people.
Yeah.
So we're more friendly than colleague. We're a little bit of both. But I leaned over the cube. I'm like, hey, other coworker. And I said, Ryan Reynolds, smash or no? And she's like, what? I was like, smash. It's a euphemism for, the thing we make euphemisms
and it's
for.
also, it's smash or pass.
Oh, I like smash or no.
Really? I've never heard that before.
Pass does not rhyme with smash, okay?
Neither does no.
Give up on your rap career. Well, that's not supposed to. It's not even trying. It's not even.
I didn't say it rhymed.
Semantics.
But no,
romantics. How romantic.
So did they? Oh, hit or miss. I like that, Lee. I've never heard that one. Hit or miss. That's pretty good.
One.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
But so did they smash or no?
Well, both of the other women were all about some Ryan Reynolds. Like the first one I asked, who is like I'm more friendly with, she was like, well, I'm kind of sarcastic, he's kind of sarcastic, I'm really into it. And like some people find like really jerky guys kind of like hot, like ooh, rawr, kind of thing. And other people like not so much. But it was odd because the one like unmarried the estranged husband person with no kids was like, I just really want a nice guy. I want a guy that's nice and doesn't like, and it got fucking weird because then she was like, that doesn't call me names or beat the shit out of me. I'm like, well, you have a low bar for that.
Yeah, I know, right?
I was like, does Ryan Reynolds doesn't seem like the kind of guy that would beat the hell out of you.
Exactly.
Mainly because of the fact that he's a fucking smartass.
Yeah.
And for me, like, I think that a lot of people think that that's fun. And not to mention, I said, like, that's a persona anyway.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, part of that is his personality, but he's a caricature of himself in the public eye.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's Gordon Ramsay's the same way, and numerous other people.
Yeah.
But for me, it's like, I don't know. I think Ryan Reynolds is fucking hilarious, and I think that the reason why is because he's not intended to be taken too seriously.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I like that about the guy. So like what I'm saying is, for me, Ryan Reynolds is a smash.
I think that's I think like we were talking about before, that is just like as close to the definition of what would be the objective average attractiveness. Like that is like we were talking about with the study with 100 women, what percentage of women do you think would find Ryan Reynolds attractive? It's got to be a very high 90-some%, right? Like,
I mean, the percentage is super high. The actor Joel Kinnaman, you know what I'm talking about?
No, let me pull him up here.
Will Conway on House of Cards. He was the big soldier boy in Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
He was, dude. Did you see Altered Carbon?
Yeah, I like that show. Yeah, I haven't seen is it third season that's new?
There's a new season of Altered Carbon.
I think there's a new season out.
There was a second one.
I think. Hold on. I swear I'm thinking of the right show.
You know what? We should just call the podcast. We should title this one "Hot Guys" because like that's all that we've talked about.
Fuck yeah, you're right. Are women attractive?
Yes.
Name 3 right now.
Jamie Lee Curtis. Wait, what? Are you playing the intro music right now?
I messed up. Fuck.
Ladies and gentlemen, all the technical difficulties.
Yeah, this is bad.
You just played the wrong sound clip.
I had the crickets ready for that and fat fingered it and hit the fucking intro button.
We finally had a chance to use the crickets.
Yeah. God damn it.
Charlize Theron, Liv Tyler, Nicole Kidman, the singer from In This Moment. I forget her name.
Never even heard of In This Moment. Who's In This Moment?
You've never heard of In This Moment?
I have not.
They're like one of my favorite shitty rock bands ever. Like I dig it. Like the vocals are cool. OTEP, the singer from the band / the band's namesake, OTEP. Okay. Nev Campbell.
So there are attractive women.
Goes on and on. Yeah.
But I think your type
guys,
is
apparently
your type is older women. I think a lot of those women were older than you.
Well, they're more like childhood crushes.
Exactly. Yeah, that's where my mind went. Yeah.
So it was actually funny. Who was the evolutionary biologist that was on Joe Rogan? I sent you the thing about the hot versus beautiful thing.
It's Eric Weinstein, right?
Yeah. No, it's Weinstein.
Okay.
Yeah, he gets really angry if you call him Weinstein.
Because it's Harvey Weinstein, Eric Weinstein. Yes.
Weinstein.
Correct.
Yes.
Yep.
The politician whose last name was Wiener. I knew someone whose name was Weiner, and the letters were reversed, and she would get very angry if you called her anything else.
That's funny.
One of my old colleagues. But he was talking about picture someone who is hot, and then picture someone who is beautiful.
Yeah.
But it's really weird because when I asked a lady at work to do that related to men. Actually, the same lady that I asked smash or no for the Ryan Reynolds thing.
Did you still use the word handsome? Or did you still use the word beautiful, or did you use a different?
Yeah, I used the word beautiful. But then when we talked about semantics about hot versus handsome, that hot and handsome somehow, for the conclusion we came to, was that men that are handsome are still hot. She still found them sexually very provocative.
Yeah.
Like Harrison Ford, Sean Connery, what's his name? Robert Redford. These guys are all much older, but she still found them to be their sexual availability was somehow still appealing to her. Whereas like when you think about women, like the hot versus beautiful thing, that you there is a distinct difference.
Yeah.
That like, Meryl Streep is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Megan Fox is hot, like I would say that. But there's a distinct difference because one of them is thought of as being a very sexual being. The other one's not. Whereas like it was weird because like my coworker, this is only one person I talked to, she kind of felt like that there was still a sexual being aspect to like a man that was handsome and not just hot.
Mm-hmm.
So like Chris Hemsworth was the same thing for her as like I don't know. I'm trying to think of. I already named it. But we'll just say Robert Redford again.
Mm-hmm.
Like a guy like that. That's like aged. Or but Sam Elliott. Oh my God, this lady like had an aneurysm the moment I mentioned that guy.
I love Sam Elliott.
Yeah, Sam Elliott's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, attraction, man. It's a difficult one. It's really weird.
It is. It is a weird thing, man.
I feel like if my mom listens to this, she's gonna be really weirded out.
Probably. I mean, she's gonna realize how many men you're attracted to. Apparently,
I guess.
Do we need to talk about the Ryans?
I mean, maybe we do. There has to be a third Ryan, like a Ryan Trinity.
Yeah, because there's the Chris's. There's 4 of, right?
What, Hemsworth and what's the other one?
Hemsworth, Evans, Pratt, and Pines.
Chris Pratt. Who's Chris Pines? Oh my God, seriously, we should just call this the Hot Guys episode.
Oh man.
Oh, that Chris. Whatever.
What?
William Shatner was a better Kirk.
I don't understand what's going on right now. Shatner was an overactor, and you know it.
That's the appeal.
Yeah, I mean that's true. That's fair.
Yet no one talks any shit about Al Pacino.
I think plenty of people talk shit about Al Pacino. You're not running the right circles. I've got a club where we talk shit about Al Pacino every Tuesday night. If you're trying to come hang out, it's my World of Warcraft raid. We just talk shit about Al Pacino the whole time.
On the subject of talking shit, can we do an hour-long podcast about talking shit about Lars Ulrich from Metallica?
I'd have to do research for that. I don't know enough to, but I'd prepare for that. Whatever. You know, I'm down to do literally an episode on anything.
I know a guest. Actually, I might know 2 guests that could come on and talk shit about Lars Ulrich.
We'd have to relate. We need to relate it to like somehow. I mean, can we like? Do we improve ourselves by getting that off our chest, or like how do we?
We can make this work.
All right, we'll shoehorn it.
We've been doing this for a while.
Yeah, true. We do have what is it? 36 episodes under the belt now. So I feel I'm not sure if I should ask. Is there a quote about attraction that you found?
Yep.
Oh my God, nice. Okay, I was scared there was gonna be a no there.
It's always a quote, my man. Always a quote. Come hell or high water. I don't even know who this is. As of late, I've found physical attraction is no longer enough. I need a genuine connection. I need to undress the layers of a soul before I feel a desire to tear away any clothes. Passion remains the fire, but now intimacy strikes the match, and friendship has become the fuel. That's a quote by Bo Taplin. I don't even know who that is.
It's getting steamy in here. I like that.
Yeah.
That's going to bring us to the end of another episode of the Metacast podcast. If you guys are watching this on YouTube and you've enjoyed the conversation, subscribe to keep up to date, hit that like button, and comment below and tell us your opinion of the, what does attraction mean to you? If you're interested in further taking part in this conversation or even joining us as a guest on a future episode, please join our Discord. The link is in the description down below. And we will be live next week, Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on twitch.tv/TylerTV. Thank you all for listening, and I hope you have a great week.